So I've managed to digest today's press conference. Not sure if you guys have, but one of the things that really stood out to me was the response to the number nine situation. So to bring you guys up to speed, there was a question there that was asked by Ball Pre TV. Big ups to David from Ball Pre TV, and he asked the gaffer attacking about our attacking prowess. Now, before we continue, let's go ahead and listen to that question there from David and also the response from the head coach, Steve McClaren.
Morning, Coach King from Barbary TV. Coach, you just spoke about the statistics, but how frustrating is it? So, once again, come away with more big chance created. We dominated, well, we had more expected goals, and once again, ended up on the losing side or not getting the desired result.
That's football. And football ultimately is not really about X's and O's, it's about players. It's about the quality of player. And unfortunately, on that day, I think, since we lost Michail Antonio, we've been searching for a number nine and goal scorers and where they're coming from. And I think I go back to a year when we played Cuba, the first game, and I think 28 shots and about 16 on target, and we come away with a 0. I think that's always been a little bit of a problem, is converting the chances that we create. So we need to be more clinical and finding that number 9 who can consistently score from nowhere. I think we're searching for. Since Mikel went, we've tried players and they've done well. Unfortunately, Warner Brown has been injured. Kadamatri's come in and done a great job and scored. Roman Borrell. But we also expect the wingers, the likes of Cephas and Dixon and Tyrese Campbell, Leon Bailey, Damari Gray. We expect them to score as well, and also from midfield. So, we scored a lot of goals, I think, from set plays also, which has helped us. But we're looking for that clinical finish to what is. We dominated the game. We dominated the ball. We created chances, good chances. As long as we keep doing that, and the performance is at a level, I'm happy with that. I wasn't happy with the first 20 minutes, and no excuse for that, but we did have to adapt. But once we adapted, we dominated. We need to do the same. And like we were in the first game, I think we scored the first goal and we were clinical in the chances that we got.
Right then, so in summary, the gaffer spent some time talking about the unfortunate unavailability of forward Michail Antonio. He even added some emphasis to the desperate search for a number 9 to fill that void. Now, during that entire response, he completely skirted the name of his own striker, a player who's currently in camp, Shamar Boza Nicholson. Now, the omission to me is quite definite. Is this the head coach way of saying Boza is not his first choice option? Either way, the pressure is on. If given a chance in tomorrow's game against Bermuda, Boza must deliver because it sounds to me that he's quite close to the exit door. Is not his first choice option. I think many people knew that already, but it's quite different when it's coming from the horse's mouth. Although he didn't directly say that, it's just that he didn't mention him. He also mentioned players who are either clubless or in the recovery room there pertaining to some injury recoveries. I don't know about you guys, but I am somewhat concerned. These are the type of situations there that causes head coaches and managers to lose their dressing room. And over the last few international windows, there's been a clear message of you're not good enough to take us to the World Cup, but you are good enough to play a role in taking us to the football's biggest tournament. Now that isn't explicitly about Shamar Nicholson, but I think that's about a collection of players. This idea of I call it like the youth culture. Of course, no one is entitled to a call up, and it's an honor to play for your country and so on. But it's kind of coming across as a bit of a youth culture. Again, you're good enough to take us to the World Cup, but you're just not good enough to play at said competition. And I'm not convinced that this is the right approach. Maybe you guys have something different to say about that, and do let me know in the comment section. Nevertheless, I think it's risky. I think you could unintentionally piss off a couple of the lads in camp who are there doing the heavy lifting, because it's one thing to not rate a player, but to not rate a player or few and expect said players or player to go out there and do the heavy lifting and take us back to the promised land, it's a head scratcher, and I think it's quite ludicrous. So it does make me ask that question again. Will Jamaica beat Jamaica? Do drop your comments and let me know how you're feeling about what was said in the press conference. And that is today's press conference. And perhaps there were something else. Perhaps other things were mentioned in the press conference that rubbed you up the wrong way. Like I said, I think there was quite a few things that were mentioned in today's press conference that kind of made you think, what's that all about? Or maybe you needed, some more meat to the bone of what was said. So do let me know in the comment section. Now, as it relates to tomorrow's match, I want them to pretty much take their frustration out on Bermuda. It's to be expected. That's what you expect. We do have this belief that we are the best team in the Caribbean, and I think now is a perfect opportunity to go out there and prove that. There's a perfect opportunity to let your football do the talking, because when you look at the big boys at club level or international level, when they get their teeth knocked out, you kind of feel sorry for the next opponents, don't you? Because you just know that they're going to run riot on you. You know that all frustration will be placed at your doorstep, and you as the opponents have to deal with the heavy hit to come. So I do want them to go out there and just get the job done, but do so convincingly. The last time we played Bermuda was actually last month, and I think we had a good show of performance there. Damian Lowe setting the tone inside the 6 minute, grabbing a goal. Captain's performance from the guy there that was wearing the captain's armband in the then absence of Andre Blake. Andre Blake, the captain, has since returned to the sticks following his injury recovery, and a couple of goal scorers there on the night's occasion: Ronaldo Cephas, KC Palmer, and Shamar Nicholson. So let's see if the lads can go out there again and get us a controlled win. And I do fancy another clean sheet. You have to get a clean sheet, because these are the things there that could potentially be the difference maker. We're not in a position where we should be taking it easy. And as I said, as a country there that's regarded as one of the biggest in the Caribbean, or the best in the Caribbean, I should say, that's exactly what you are expected to go out there and do. You're expected to go out there and completely destroy Bermuda, and I'm hoping that's exactly what happens. If you take a look at the table, Curacao, let's say temporarily leapfrog us, and they are currently in first place sitting on 7 points. Jamaica steadily behind them on 6 points. And it was so funny how we were talking about that goal difference there. You can see we went into that game against Curacao the better goal difference. We still have the better goal difference, but it's slim. We have 4 as our goal difference. Curacao have 3. Trinidad and Tobago have 1. Trinidad and Tobago are on 4 points. They're only 2 points behind Jamaica. So the next time we meet, that is going to be a clash of the Titans. I'm looking forward to that fixture, by the way. And then you have Bermuda, rock bottom, 0 points, -8 goals. So we should not be allowing Bermuda to score any goals on us. But they did do a little bit of a scare in the last window, didn't they? I was keeping my eyes closed on that game there, Bermuda versus Curacao, and they managed to find 2 goals. They scored 2 goals on the night's occasion, and that came to somewhat of a squeaky bum time finish. That was a 5-goal thriller. Curacao digging deep to beat Bermuda 3-2. So hopefully they don't come with no funny business tomorrow. That is the visitors, Bermuda. Hopefully we can go out there and get the job done, convincingly get the job done, and just cool off on this month's international break with a win. I think it'll be a different approach to the game. It's not like we're coming into a match on the back foot of a victory. We're now coming into tomorrow's game on the back foot of a defeat. So it's a different approach, in my opinion. It is one there that's you're looking at, and you're probably thinking to yourself, you want to see heart, don't you? You want to see a response. You want to see determination. You want to see that the boys can just shake this one off and bounce back immediately. And that's why I always say, tomorrow, yesterday's result doesn't matter. And the fans it's so funny that, players and fans really can't digest football in the same, can they? Because the fans can sit here and sulk about the defeat to Curacao and trust and believe that they will. In a year's time, they'll still be sulking. But the players, they can't afford to do that, because you got to get yourself together. You got to dust yourself off and go again. And I think the lads are ready to go out there and do exactly that. So I do wish them the very best of luck. It's 3 points that we're asking for, nothing less will do. 3 points is what we are asking for. That's just it. It's just 3 points, And I think the boys will go out there and do exactly that. It's 3 points that we're asking for, and I do feel confident, with the greatest of respect to Bermuda, that we'll go out there and get that one done. So hopefully that will be the case. Heading into match day 4. Let me know how you are feeling. Are you feeling confident that we will qualify for next summer's FIFA Men's World Cup? Or are you feeling a little bit nauseous after getting your teeth kicked in 2-0 by Curacao? If you haven't hit the like button, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and hit the like button. It does not cost you a penny. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You know how it goes. Until next time, take care.
We're little, but we're Tanawa.